You know when you're nervous and then they bring out a helmet that looks like that and you go, oh Christ.
Yeah, like he makes that happen. You know, that's funny. But he yesterday I was with them and they were all we were with Medusa and he was like super excited. Everybody was so nervous when they were near the helmet. So you know.
Yeah, I was super excited to meet you. Let alone there be a helmet here.
Yeah, and you met Ayrton, you know, so it's...
Do you know what I did? I was saying to you about step before, when we were little, we went to testing in Silverstone. My mum and dad are massive Formula 1 fans. When I told them I was meeting you, they were like, sharp. It was like after school, we were like 8, and my brother was little 6. We went to testing, and you just go up to Silverstone, and they just test the cars on a Thursday, and it was like £5 to get in. So when my parents were strapped, it was like you could go and see cars, and you can go and see racing, you can go and see racing drivers. It's epic, you know?
Yeah.
But then after testing was finished, everyone would just jump over the wall, run across the track. We'd help my mum climb up the other side. These 2 little kids trying to help my mum climb up the other side, over the other side, go behind the garages, and we're like standing there, like me and my brother were kind of, because we're little, we kind of, you just sort of cheekily push through, you know. Yeah. And your uncle, he saw us, and he was like, "Do you want to come and sit in my car?" And me and my brother were like,
"Really? Yeah."
So yeah, we had the pleasure, and then and I went to Donington for the
93 race,
for the one where they had the squashed hedgehogs on the side, and it was raining, and
well, this is like very English, so you need to be born.
Yeah, so I think it was 93. I think because basically, it was the year he had the 0. So I think it was and they had basically Williams was sponsored by Sega. McLaren had done this kind of, they were beating him in every race. And they put these.
So he was in Williams.
He was in McLaren.
McLaren, yes.
Yeah,
so probably 93, yeah.
But that was one of his most. We watched that race and it was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for meeting me.
Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. So yeah, I just want to talk about kind of legacy. Like, obviously, it's been 30 years. How you took over the brand. I know you impact schools and you work with schools and you've helped children. Just talk about that a little bit. What's happened in that kind of 30-year period?
Well, a lot has happened, in 30 years. Like it started with Ayrton, like talking about a little bit of the foundation. Ayrton wanted to do something more professional to help Brazil, especially because of, our economical situation. He said that, Brazil was able to provide him opportunities to become what he became in life. And he wanted to, do that, share that with other, Brazilians, since then. In 94, before the season started, he asked my mother to think about what, they could do to really help, because he was doing donations here, donations there, but, he didn't see that as enough. So, my mother was psychologist then, so she wasn't, executive or anything related to this background, but she, said, well, let's think about it. And then in the end of the season, I can come up with something and then we can discuss. But unfortunately, that didn't happen because the accident happened in May. And we decided to make his wishes come true and we opened the foundation. And the foundation is basically, his mission is to provide quality education to the children in Brazil. So roughly 90% of the schools, the students in Brazil go to public schools.
Yes.
And that's where the gap is really big. And so we decided to help public schools do a better job on, actually teaching the children, because they are like basically going through school and not learning. So they don't get the right proficiency in English, in Portuguese or in math. So, there is a big gap that will change people's life. All these children will become, not successful in life because they didn't have a proper education. So the way that we do is like we work through the government, through the educational system to provide a good education. So we train the teachers, we train the educators, we train the whole chain that goes up to the children. And that's how we work. So basically we have trained more than 300,000 teachers in Brazil. And we have reached through our projects since 94, 36 million children in Brazil.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so it is a big intake and, obviously a big impact. But there is still a lot to do because we're talking about a population of students of more than 86 million children per year. So it's bigger than many, countries in Europe. So it is a big intake. But because it is a big intake. What we do is like create like almost like vaccines that you create a program where it can be applied to different schools, and we don't need to be there anymore like in the future.
Yes.
So that's the way that we work, and we also help rules for the government, like to make sure that our programs continue through time, no matter how the election goes, because
Yes.
when you are changing parties, and that's another issue as well. So we have the foundation, then we have a cartoon called Senninha, which was Ayrton that, decided to create when he was, I think, 93.
The
Because
ones on the t-shirts. From...
yes, exactly. You could see the t-shirts, yeah.
Yes.
So the cartoon is called Senninha.
Yes.
And this is for 3 to 5 years old,
Yes.
so preschool. And his mission was and has been to teach values to the children. And nowadays, we not only teach values, but social emotional skills, which is resilience, determination, teamwork. And basically, we use those elements to create cartoon.
Yes.
To create animations and to create, different types of entertainment for kids. And also we have the Senna brand, which is basically, bringing Ayrton's DNA to a brand. And our mission is to inspire people to be their best version, to really find their own calling. And, because their own calling is their own.
Yes.
And that's what makes people powerful. It's what is inside, not what is outside. And, that's the mission of the brand since Ayrton, because he created the brand for that, to again inspire people. So that's what we have been doing since forever now.
I read that you said somewhere about everyone creating their own sort of mini Ayrtons, but they're not essentially racing drivers, but their own goal and their own achievement, and what just following those values basically, which I thought was absolutely lovely.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, that's what we teach children. That's what we teach, in schools, because in the end of the day, that's what is important, like, especially in the world as it is today, like just knowing Portuguese, math, and so on, it's not enough anymore. Like, you really need to have your soft skills properly trained.
Yes. And then let's talk about this new project. It's obviously 30 years and this new album's coming out. Let's talk about that project. How did that come about? And it sounds exciting.
Yeah, it is a partnership with Bulldozer and Universal to bring Ayrton's DNA, Ayrton's mission, the Senna Brands mission into music. And what is great about it is that, for me, I love the electronic music since forever. So for me, it made a lot of sense. And for me, music, and I know for a lot of people that happens as well, is what makes you move. Like sometimes you're bored or like you're sad.
Yeah.
When you put on music, it can really help you change your mood. And again, our mission is to, help people don't give up and really push it. So through music, it made a lot of sense for us. Like it's a way of connecting with the new generations. It's a way to passing this message, through generations and through music. So it made a lot of sense. And, working with the artists that we've been working has been fantastic. First, they were all very, most of them were like, yeah, let's do it. No, but you didn't no, I want to do it. No matter, So it's really cool, to have that impact on such great artists. And, through music, we're going to be able to spread, the message to their fans as well. So I think it's just super, super cool.
I was saying before, it kind of it's a natural thing with Formula One and kind of dance music. It's a fast-paced sport. It's a fast-paced music. It's kind of there's a natural fit, but also from the artist point of view, I guess now that these artists have been following the sport, and it's interesting to see how far the brand and the kind of and his reach and your family's reach have got into different areas that not naturally you would think about, which is so amazing.
Yeah, because I think the message is universal and it goes through any type of project, really. Like I always say that, we don't create products, we create inspiration through different packaging.
Yes.
And I think music is definitely a great opportunity for us to do the same. So I really think that, electronic music can help on that. And I learned a lot of, the way of life of the artists that are doing the album. And you can see that there are a lot of similarities because they have to be athletes as well. They have to, they are pushing, they're traveling a lot. It's a toll, right?
Yes.
And, people don't realize that. That they have to be like that. And it's the same with racing drivers. Now it's common sense that they are training. But back then, when Ayrton was driving, nobody knew that, you needed to be fit.
Yes.
And he was the one pushing the drivers to start being fit. So, there are even this kind of similarities, from, the music world to motorsport.
And then I read that you picked artists from each of the countries that he had wins across karting and across some of his famous wins, and that's amazing. And can we talk about that a little bit?
It's crazy because back then Formula One was already a global event, right? And and music is, electronic music is a very global team. So I think for me it made a lot of sense to try to fit different artists and musics through globally. So and it makes sense, and we found the right DJs to do it. So
yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I can't wait to see the lineup and see who.
No, it's amazing. I have to say that we don't, obviously it's not on Spotify yet,
Yeah.
so I just have the playlist on my phone. So I have to keep going to WhatsApp, pressing and then listening to it, and I am hooked.
And then just finally, can we just talk your memories and your kind of. Obviously, I read you're probably the similar age to me when your uncle died, and just your own memories and your own kind of history of with your uncle and your and just famous famous brand,
Mm-hmm. Well, I found out about Ayrton impact on people and motor racing after he died, because I was 14 when it happened, and to be honest, I had that vision that I knew that he was gonna win, so why bother watching the race? So that was my my thinking back then. So I didn't have the knowledge of how much impact he had in people's life. And then when he died, that's when I found out. And then through the brand and through, these experiences, speaking to you, and then knowing that he taught you and touched you so much, it's something that is so special, because Ayrton is in people's heart. It's not here, it's here.
Totally.
Yeah, and it's magical. All the projects that I have been, working on with, that have something to do with Ayrton, people get so excited. They want to be part of it. It really brings people together. And for me, this is really, exciting and marvelous.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. It was lovely to meet you.
It's an honor for me and my family to meet you, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been
Thank
cool.
you.
Thank you.